Uh, Folks, let me start by asking this. I want to ask you all this question. Is sales an art or a science? What do you think? What is your views?
I think it's both, mix of both things. Yeah.
Right, right. Anyone
Yes,
else?
Nikhil. Even I was also thinking that it is both because sales needs the practical knowledge as well as creativity.
Yeah, yeah.
So I guess this sales is both science and art.
Absolutely. I think it's both. It's an art and the science. That's the beauty of sales, right? You can't say it's just an art or it's a science. It's both of it. You're right. Well, I have a couple more other questions. I mean, do you think uh, practicing a sales pitch or having a sales pitch itself would really work?
No.
Okay, why?
Yeah, because you are the person who is getting a lot of customers with the different requirements.
Right.
So if you are very strict with your sales pitch as well as with your elevator pitch, that you have very confined sales pitch and elevator pitch, then it will be considered you as a kind of a BPO things that you are just repeating your stuffs again and again. So
Absolutely.
like we are also following in our company that you have to follow elevator or sales pitch, but I don't think so that it works with every customers.
Absolutely. I think that's true. And that's exactly what I would be talking about today as well. And I will teach you as to how not to probably restrict yourself. And this whole episode is all about how do you structure it and rather not restrict by itself. So let's talk about it more. But one last question, right, for all of you. Uh, can we standardize sales pitches?
Yes.
Because a lot of companies, right, I mean, they enforce in standardizing sales pitches because that will help you in scale. But can you do that?
I don't think so.
That would
I
be
think
recommend. I
sales
don't
pitch
think that
can
would-
help us. It's provide us an advantage, just that. But presence of mind should be always there, that we can use it as an advantage only if we have one.
So I think structuring it kind of helps out,
Yeah.
and having a structure definitely is a great start. And from there, how you take it off is left to you.
Yeah.
So
It's your presence of mind. Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely. So I'm glad that in some shape and form, you all know what the essence of sales pitches are about and so forth. Yes, I think what you said is right. In my opinion, you can't really standardize a sales pitch because the needs and wants of the customers are way different in each and every prospect, right? One could have the urgency to purchase, or one may not have the urgency to purchase. It could be a need to someone, it could be a want to someone, right? So it's really difficult to standardize sales pitches, and I think that's where it is, right? So if you look at how sales has been done probably 10 years back and how sales is evolving in the current state of sales, you can't standardize. I think probably 10 years back, somebody mentioned about BPOs. That's exactly how sales used to run, right? And even now, certain things are run by standardization, right? So when you speak to the salesperson, they would not know anything out of this subject. They would only probably stick to their confined pitches and they could only talk about that. So that is how sales were done before. And the way today sales is done is way different. I think it's custom made, it's tailor made, and so forth. So while you actually custom make your sales pitches, right, it's very difficult to kind of make an impact because you might get lost, right? Because you will not be talking to same clients. As I said, the needs of the clients will not be the same. You might have to alter your pitches, you may have to alter your conversations and so forth. So in today's day and age, I think when you customize too much, there is an opportunity for us to miscalculate certain things and go wrong. The chances of going wrong is very higher because you are not repeating the same thing, right? That is exactly where today we will be covering what is the structure or what is the format you need to follow. So it's probably the science or the process of your sales pitch, which I'm going to talk about today. Let me start. So today, let's look at what is a recommended structure or recommended process to prepare your sales pitch. We'll not talk about standardized way, but it's just a recommended structure or a process rather for a sales pitch. Then we'll look at what are the simple do's and don'ts of when you're having a conversation with your prospects or customers. There are certain hygiene factors, and there are certain things which you would really want to do and which you don't really want to do. We'll cover that. Third point, how do you increase your sales conversion? There's a hack. We pretty much know it, but I don't think most of the salespeople today do it. But we'll see, and we'll double down on how do you convert your conversion ratios. And then we'll go on general tips, and then we'll go to Q&As. Any questions so far, folks, before we move? Cool. Let me start. So what is the recommended structure, right? So I think you could have a simple 4 structure, right? Introduction, opening, body, or conclusion, or ending. So these are the themes, or these are 4 processes which you could really have when you actually want to kind of have an impactful sales pitch. The matter could be anything. You could introduce yourself in 10 different ways. I'm not going to teach you about how you have to introduce yourself, but having these 4 steps as a process will really ensure that you don't miss out on anything today, or you don't miss out on your sales pitches, right? So let's go and look at why and how to introduce yourself, right? So it's very important to introduce yourself in a very positive manner and very high energetic manner, right? And introducing yourself will define the rest of your sales pitch, to be very honest, right? You need to introduce who you are in a perfect way. I'll give you a pro tip, right? Or I'll give you a reflection. We as sales folks, we always think about, are we talking to the right person in the company, right? Or we always think about, is my prospect the decision maker, right? This is what we generally think about, right? And we qualify that, hey, this is probably the founders or the CFOs are the right decision makers, and I need to speak to them, right? So here you're qualifying, saying that, no, you are talking to the right person. But what we don't reflect upon is that, no, it's very important for the prospects to feel that, they are talking to the right person as well. So hence it's very important to make sure that, you introduce yourself to your prospects in the right manner and make them feel that they are talking to the right person as well. So it goes both ways, right? You should feel that, no, you're talking to the right person, and in turn, they should feel that they're talking to the right person as well. Otherwise, you can make beautiful pitches and it will not be impactful if they don't feel that they're talking to the right person. So here's an example, right? So let's say if I have to introduce myself to my prospect, this is how I do. I say that, hey, this is Nikil Desai from Plum. I'm one of the directors who actually take care or look after employee benefits for organizations who do not have employee benefits set up. I advise, I consult founders and HRs to adopt and implement best employee benefits that well suits their organization. Now here you can see I have informed them who I am, what I do in the company, and also I have told them that what I do to people. So let's say my prospects are founders and HRs, they will feel reassured that they're talking to the right person, because I've told in my second line that I advise and consult HRs and founders to adopt and implement best plans, right? So this is a kind of reassuring, right? It's very important to make sure that your prospects have that reassurance that you can do anything for them and you're the right person for them. So yeah, I think it's very, very important to have a strong and positive opening. I would say prepare how to introduce yourself and always make the prospect feel important, that they're talking to an important person. So that always really works. So this is just one step. I mean, I think introduction defines your next 3 to 4 minutes of your sales pitches. So if you don't make them feel important, and if you don't feel if you don't really open in a positive way, right, then the rest of the things will not really flow good. So make sure that you have a strong opening. Moving on, let's look at this, right? The second phase is you need to open your sales pitch, right? There are multiple ways to open a sales pitch, and there are multiple reference points which you can take, and there are multiple ways you can probably start a conversation. But I think addressing the problem statement precisely is the best way to kind of open your sales pitch or open a conversation, because it actually has a lot of advantages. I'll let you know. One other thing is that by addressing the problem statement precisely will actually keep the prospect engaged and probably curious, right? Because let's say you're selling a mobile phone, and if you don't address a problem statement and start your conversation, the very next question to the prospect is that, no, there are hundreds of mobile phones. How are you different, right? So to preempt that question, to actually kind of avoid such questions, right? Who are we and how are we different? You got to open, your conversation of your sales pitch by addressing the current problem statement or addressing the problem statement in the market precisely. So this is how I do it, right? So I'm in the insurance space. Plum is an insurance player, and this is how I open it. So I say that, no, as you are aware, in the insurance, the experience in the country is been broken for decades, right? From usage to experience. And we all know that the insurance experience has been very broken. And I say that, no, that is exactly what we're solving today at Plum. And how am I solving it? Through our next generation technology and platform. So here, if you observe, I've picked up a problem statement. The problem statement is the experience. The problem statement is the user experience or usage experience or purchase experience. That is a problem statement. I've addressed it. I've reinforced that this is a problem in the market. And now I've also told them that, no, this is what we are solving. And the third thing, what I've also told is that, no, how am I going to solve it? I'm going to solve it through my technology and platform. But remember, I have not told the prospect yet, how am I going to solve it? What is my product? What is my technology and platform? And you don't need to reveal that in your opening itself. You got to kind of give a sneak peek about the problem statement. You got to give a sneak peek about what you are addressing and how you're addressing. That's enough. Because if you reveal everything in your opening of your conversation, then the curiosity is broken, right? And you have revealed the secret. So as sales folks, as sales professionals, it's very important to keep the prospect guessing and take them to the end. Otherwise, they won't be interested in your pitches because they knew in advance as to what you're going to do and how you're going to do. They can make decisions. They can be biased. So make sure that, no, you have a format or you have a structure to kind of only address the problem in the beginning. That will really help you to move to the next stage, which is the actual matter, right? Actual subject or the body of your structure. Now here, this is the most important phase of your sales pitch. You got to create high level of curiosity and interest to your prospects. And how you do that? You do that while explaining a possible solution, right? So remember, you introduce yourself, you picked up a problem statement, you actually spoke about a problem statement, you are saying that, no, you're addressing the problem statement and how you're addressing that. And now you're going to talk about what is the problem you're going to solve, right? You need to explain a possible solution, how it's going to happen, right? Now, to add more flavor to it, by giving a history to the problem, would really be impactful, right? And I've told about insurance experience being broken. Folks, if you all go on mute, I think there is some. Yeah, thank you. So giving a history to the problem really makes sense, and giving a background to the problem really makes sense, right? So look at an example here, right? So if you go in my previous slide, I've spoken about saying insurance experience in the country is very broken, right? Here, what I'm trying to say here is, hey, I'm sure you or any of your employees must have faced issues while dealing with insurance companies. With Plum, your employees and yourself will get fast, reliable, and trusted support when it matters the most, right? So you are actually giving a reference point. You're giving probably, or you're talking about a history to the problem. And also in this section, you can quote real life examples. So what I do is I probably quote real life examples saying that, no, hey, one of my relative had to kind of get admitted in the hospital and the insurance experience was broken. I mean, we were not able to talk to the insurance company, or the experience was not really great, and so forth. So in the body or in the subject of your sales pitch, make sure you give a history to the problem. You give reference points, quote real examples, instances, scenarios, which will build authenticity, right? So by always giving real life examples and real scenarios and instances, you're likely to relate, and you are asking your prospect to relate to a real life instance. You're not fabricating anything. you're building authenticity that way. So which makes it more credible, right? Which makes it more authentic and more genuine. Last but not the least, make sure you subtly create a FOMO, which is fear of missing out. You need to install that if you don't opt or if you don't select my product or service, you're going to miss out on this. So in this case, if a prospect doesn't choose Plum, what are they going to miss out? They're going to miss out fast, reliable, and trusted support. And that's exactly what is needed when you're dealing with insurance, when you're not well, when you need most care. So you are creating a FOMO so that they believe in your product, or they start believing in your product, that no, your product can deliver value. Yeah. So next comes your clear value proposition. Now you've introduced yourself, you've picked up a problem statement, you've given a reference and a background and a history to the problem statement, and probably you've also discussed about what kind of solution you can give and what you do and so forth. Now the last or the ending is all about how do you show clear value proposition and impact of your product. Now you need to make sure, or you need to believe, or you need to kind of deliver value, right? So let's say if somebody is buying Plum or somebody is buying a software, they need to make sure, or they need to believe that this product or service is going to add value to their business. Without any value, if you don't probably make them feel that this product or service is going to deliver value to the business, they're unlikely to make a decision. Rather, in other words, if you make them believe that this product of yours will deliver super value for them, then the decision making could be faster. They could make faster decision making, right? Let's look at how we do it. So to make sure that you show clear value proposition, you can use data and statistics to your advantage in your sales pitches. You need to clearly quantify the value of your product and service. Otherwise, it should be measurable. If it's measurable, as I said, the prospect is likely to kind of quantify your product, and they are likely to calculate the ROI of your product, right? So let's say if I'm investing 1 lakh, this in turn will create value of 5 lakhs to my business, and I might probably end up getting 5 lakhs worth of benefit. That's the ROI, right? So always, while ending your sales pitch or while ending your conversation, make sure what value add you bring in. And how do you make sure you bring in value add? By using data and statistics. There are 2 examples given in here. One is, I will go and say that Plum has the highest net promoter score, of the NPS score of 79 in the industry, which sets apart from rest of the industry, right? I would go about and talk that, this is exactly what we are different, and this is how we are different. Our industry NPS or net promoter score is the highest, and that's how we are able to make a difference, and that's how we are different. And the value add which you will get is that, rest assured, you and your employees will get maximum care and support. So that's how you do it. You throw numbers at prospects, right? In your conversations, you throw numbers, you throw percentages. So look at the example 2, right? It's so reassuring, and probably a prospect can deliver a value here, right? So for example, let's say you're selling a software, you can say that, through our software, clients have increased customer satisfaction score by 10x in just 90 days of adoption. Now, this prospect of yours who's evaluating a product will actually get a reference point that, oh, okay, if I use XYZ, my customer satisfaction score is going to go up by 10x. That's the value which you're able to deliver. And when are you able to deliver that value? Within the 90 days. So even that is mentioned, right? So there's no surprises. There's no, ad hoc points here. You're actually kind of re-emphasizing the value. How are you going to deliver the value? What is the value add, and so forth. So this will make a clear judgment, or it'll really help the prospect to visualize the value add. And I think, in all honesty, folks, this is where everybody goes wrong today. They have a great opening, they have a great sales pitch, but what they do is, while closing or while actually ending the conversation, they forget to showcase the value addition what the product adds. And this makes a big difference, folks. Try this out. Make sure you actually have data points and statistics and viewpoints, do some research, ask your internal, cross-functional departments as to what is that the real value add it can add to our business or for client business. Gather all of those thoughts and see how you can position yourself in your pitches. It will make a big impact. It will make a certainly big impact. And that's 4 simple pointer, right? So let's recap. So you need to you have to have a strong positive introduction. You need to really introduce who you are very good and very positively. You need to pick up opening statement, and the best way to do that is to start addressing a problem statement which is in the market, and then your body of the matter should make sure that you create curiosity, you create interest while explaining a possible solution. And here in this point in time, make sure you quote real examples, real scenarios, you give history to the problem, and probably even talk about why your company is into existence, and why it started, why this company was started, and so forth. So it will pre-attempt the questions about what is different amongst others, and so forth. So yeah, body is important. And finally, make sure that you emphasize and you kind of show a clear value add to your business. A clear value add of your product to their business. So this is a simple sales structure which I would recommend.
Kerala, complete Bangalore.
For folks, can we go on mute? Yeah,
Nikil, you can continue. Put it on mute.
Sure. Any questions so far, folks? We'll just dive into what are the do's and don'ts of sales pitches. But any questions so far?
Yes, I have.
Please.
Yeah, hi Nikil, this side Mohit from Ekin Care Company.
Hey Mohit.
Yeah, hi. My question is that we are also into a sales profile and are totally inclined towards the product itself, and we are into an insurance thing. So
Right.
this is pretty much fine that we are into, like, if we get our LinkedIn leads or inbound leads, then it's fine that we can coordinate with a client very easily.
Right.
But we are facing challenges over cold leads. Like
Right.
if we call to the cold leads, then we are facing that they don't have that much time. So for gaining that retention or attention for that customer, what are the things, or what are the 15 minutes kind of an elevator pitch which we can focus or make that client stay on that call? So I just want to know from your side that this is the most challenging part which I'm facing.
Got it. So, let me answer that in the next slides of a do and don't. But Mohit, to answer your question, the difference between an elevator pitch and a sales pitch is just the time. The format, you could use the same format, the format of introduction, opening, body, and conclusion. So your elevator pitch could have the same format. Your sales pitch could have the same format, but the only difference is the time. In your elevator pitch, you need to do it probably by 30 to 45 seconds. And in a sales pitch, you have a time of 1 to 2 minutes. That's the only difference. But you got to really be precise in your elevator pitches, right? So it should be one-liner. One-liner should describe who you are, what is the problem statement, how are you going to solve it, and what is the value add. So if you could crack that in 30 seconds, that is your elevator pitch. And probably in your sales pitch, you will have more time to talk about and go in depth. But I think elevator pitches need some practice. You need to kind of time it well, because you don't have time, right? I mean, nobody would give you that time. So you can have the same structure, Mohit. You go back, I'll share you this slide. You go back, dissect it, have the same structure, but make sure that you cap it within 30 to 45 seconds maximum.
Yeah, because we have to gain the attention of that customer. That is really very hard.
Yeah. But the format is the same.
Okay. Thanks, Nikil. Yeah.
Cool. Any other questions, folks? That was a good question.
Hi, Nikil. This side Ganesh.
Hey, Ganesh.
Currently, I'm working in JSW Steel. They have recently launched an e-commerce platform.
Absolutely.
So my question is that here the scenario is different. Here the customers only focus on money. If they get less money from the distributor, or they took the material from them. So what can I do so that they can took the material from us?
Yeah. So Ganesh, I think yours and my problem are the same, to be very honest, right? So if you think about insurance, there are a lot of insurance companies as well. What is that I would deliver, right? Similarly, even in your space, it comes to the cost and it comes to competition, because pretty much in the market, every other product looks similar, correct? That's your problem. What we are on the slide right now. So what I just explained. So you need to emphasize and clearly install value proposition of your product. That is what will substand, and that is what will probably substitute pricing. So in sales, if it is coming to the pricing, right, then I think the key problem is that no, you're not able to show your value prop. If you're not able to show and deliver and communicate your value proposition, then there is no perceived value of your product, right? Because they're not comparing apples to apples. They're comparing your company's steel to probably XYZ, which is probably different than yours. That is why my suggestion to you is make sure that you look at your company value propositions. What kind of value is your company able to generate, deliver? How are they able to generate, deliver? Are they able to deliver long-term value? Are they able to deliver long-term service value, and so forth? Pick those points, do that research, and probably communicate that, hey, look, while we are at this price, we give you these many values, and if you value these many things, then we are the best. So that's how you're going to win the deal.
Thank you, Nikhil. Thank you.
I hope that's it.
I had a question.
Yep.
Sir, how is there any way that you can quantify wellness benefits? Because I've seen most insurance companies or third-party companies, they offer wellness benefits to clients. So is there any way to quantify it?
See, I think absolutely. Why not? So wellness is something which is, sorry?
I'm Prabhu. Sorry, I thought you were going to ask my name. So.
No worries, Prabhu. So Prabhu, I think the way to do is, what is wellness, right? I mean, you are pre-attempting sickness, correct? So you are making sure that this particular person is not going to be sick, correct? Now, how to quantify that? So, I mean, I've done some research here, and what it says is, averagely, a person in a year can go sick for at least 6 to 7 days, right? Okay. And let's say if wellness is not given importance, if you're not taking care of your health, or if you're not pre-attempting to know if you're going sick, that means it's a loss of 7 to 10 days of productivity, because you're not going to be working.
Correct.
So that's how you quantify. I mean, that's one of the ways to quantify. There are many other ways, but one of the ways is probably talk about what is a loss of working days, because you could probably pre-attempt and take care of yourself and avoid a fever. A fever can knock us out for 7 days at least, right?
Correct.
Whereas if you take care of yourself, probably that 7 days is productive days.
Right. That's amazing, sir. Thank you. It's a very simple and a very quantifiable measure, and very commonsensically put. Thank you.
Cool.
Jitendra here. I have an extension of that JSW question.
Okay.
See, if we are dealing with the dealers, dealers will always see what is my profit margin and how maximum that I can extract. Okay. They will have least interest which product is better or which product is far better, which product is really bad, unless it's coming up to their own reputation and losing of customers. Okay. So there may be many company or many product of a similar nature, similar quality. However, there are companies who would be giving more commissions or at a very lower price to them. There are companies maybe due to brand value or maybe due to costings, they cannot provide to the same level. Yeah. But dealer has the option to choose from which product they want to purchase, and whoever provides them at a better rate, they are going to get that. So in this situation, how we can show the value proposition? Say, for example, I'm working with JSW only, and my product price is higher, and he has other options which product prices are lower at almost at the same quality, or maybe 19 and 20 difference. Okay. So what best value proposition and how I can proceed, like prospect him to make him understand that if you take JSW, apart from the pricing effect that you may have, these are the qualities or these are the service which will add you up to your commissions or to your profit that you are looking for other brands.
Yep. No, great. Good question. So I think I'll go one level deeper to this, right? I think I answered to Ganesh before, but I'll go one level deeper. First and foremost, as salesperson, you can really change the mindset of the buyers, right? But here, what I see is that no, the landscape is quite competitive, and the dealers are not really that matured enough to kind of change their mindset, is what I assume. So Jitendra, the other way to do that is probably get to the technicalities of your product, right? You got to, I mean, you have to kind of show value proposition through technicality. For example, I don't know, I've not been in this industry, but I'm just throwing out ideas here. Probably you can talk about and say that no, the grade of steel which we use is way superior than others, and this particular grade will actually help in severe weather conditions, and this is likely to withstand severe weather conditions more than the other players, for example, right? There could be a lot of other things. You need to get to the technicalities and justify the cost to charge. Otherwise, then it'll all come back to the cost, right? So for me, the primary problem here is that no, the dealer is not able to understand why your cost is higher. You need to make sure, again, go back to the technicalities, give him technical details about this is what it is, and in the market you don't get this, and you have to pay the price for this. And I'm sure, Jitendra, out of 10 people whom you speak to, right, 5 people will be looking for such superior quality, right? And that is how you win deals. And whenever you feel that no, it is coming to the cost, you need to go as technical as possible. Otherwise, it's really hard.
Thank you. I got the idea to some extent. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Cool. Any other questions, folks?
Yes, last question,
Yep.
Mohit.
Yeah,
Yeah. Nikhil, I just want to know one thing, that I am also from an insurance thing, like from Ekin Care. We have dealing with the CXOs level only, like B2B segment. So they are not very much proficient with the time or the criteria that they could listen each and everything from us. So like we are just getting the things, like initially I do the call like according to the IRDI Act, for gaining the attention that according to the IRDI Act we need like every company needs an insurance to move or circulated the things, but still it doesn't work. Like I don't know why, but they are not very much gaining the attention towards the same thing, and they are not very much proficient to take the things in a longer way or taking it as a forward things.
I believe you could pitch tax benefits right along with that. I'm sorry to cut you, but yeah.
Yeah,
Under
that's fine.
Section 80D of the GST Act. If
Yeah,
you
I
could,
did.
yeah.
So,
Sorry.
I mean, Mohit, I understand your problem, but I think again, I'll cover in the last slide as to how you can increase your chances.
Okay.
But I think make sure and double make sure that no, your structure is fine. Somewhere if your structure is not really good, then you're likely to have that no, you're not gaining attention of the people. And I said in one of my last slides, right? Create a fear of missing out. So create a FOMO. So you need to really emphasize on creating a fear. Otherwise, it would stall.
Okay. Thanks, Nikhil.
Cool. Can we move? So let's look at a simple do's and don'ts when you are doing a sales pitch. Again, I'm a huge fan of this. You got to be really, really positive and highly energetic when you actually are talking to your customers. That really matters. Your energy, your positivity really matters to other person. If you are not positive, if you're not high of energy, it's not rightly, it'll not likely kind of gain the attention of the users. So make sure that now you are very energetic. Your sales pitches should be short and brief. Again, I've mentioned this. Your actual pitcher, sales pitches should not exceed 1 or 2 minutes. That's the max. And your elevator pitches should be maximum 30 seconds or 45 seconds. So that's how it should be. Keep it brief, keep it short and to the point. You don't need to go around and you don't need to kind of talk extra. you see this happening, you keep it to the point, you keep it precise, you will see the difference. Again, sales pitches should cover the problem statement precisely. I think what we end up doing is we don't think about the problem statements much. Make sure that you address or you pick up certain problem statements in your industry, and always try to give a history to the problem. That will make more sense to the prospect as to understand what the problem is all about. Otherwise, they might not understand what the problem you're talking. If you give them a history, they're likely to resonate well. Again, the next thing is you got to create curiosity and you have to create interest. I mean, you think that 1 or 2 minutes of the sales pitch is pretty short, but it is not short. In first 30 seconds, your prospects could turn off and probably they may not have interest. So it is very, very important as sales professionals, you make sure throughout the journey, you create that interest, you create that curiosity to your people and your prospects you're talking to. Otherwise, again, you may not be more impactful. The other way, practice your pitches. Timing is very important. You got to time them well. If you're going too fast, it's not going to help. If you're going too slow, that's not going to help either. You need to make sure that you need to calculate the interest levels of your prospects in your industries. Few industries might have less interest levels, as Mohit spoke about, or few industries could have probably, if you're buying a house, probably you're in real estate, your interest level will be lengthier, right? Because you want to hear a lot. So you got to time your pitches. You need to know how long is a pitch good for you. Practice and time it well. Know your audience well. I think this is very important. I think of lately, it's becoming more and more important in modern day sales that to know your audience well. The only way to do that is research your prospects, understand where they're coming from, what they did in the past, and tailor make the pitches, or tailor make pitches for them. And then again, keep it simple, keep it to the point. Have a great storyline. That's very important. If you don't have a story, if you don't have a narrative, then again, the loser, the prospect or the listener loses interest and might not likely to kind of engage with you. Practice and modulate your pitches. I think we as people, we talk differently, we talk in different tones, we talk in different pitches, but you need to figure out and modulate your voice and tone which is best for you. Again, practice. With practice, you will get this, and then probably you will know what tone and what modulation you need to speak to kind of create interest and have a great conversation. So again, you need to practice that. And last but not the least, right? So you need to have a friendly expression or a very smiley expression. I think you can't be lousy or you can't be very serious when you're talking to your prospects. You got to be very friendly. You got to be very smiley and bubbly, so that it creates that positive energy and they like to talk to you, right? Again, last but not the least, make sure you make an emotional connect. Find for that emotional connect. Probably do certain ice-breaking conversations, like talk about off topics. Hey, I like to travel. Oh, I can see that you love traveling. I love traveling too. Have you traveled to this place? This is so amazing. Or cricket is a good topic. Weather is a good topic. So make sure that you build that emotional connect and leave that impression with your prospects. So these are a few do's which you need to do. Will put you to kind of in the right path and will ensure that you don't miss out anything of these. Let's move to don'ts. First and foremost, don't be in a hurry to finish your pitches. I've seen people, the moment the customer says, I don't have much time, can you do it faster? They're ramble, right? So do not do that, irrespective of what the customer says or the prospect says. Make sure that you take it, you don't speak too fast. Make sure that the listeners are observing your messages. They know what you're talking about. The other thing is, avoid using complex jargons. I've seen this in many of my people, and I've advised them, and that has resulted in great results. Avoid talking jargons. Jargons are for your industry and for your internal purposes, not to talk to your customers. Although the customers knows the jargon, do not use them. That's not the professional way to do so. No jargons to be used. Explain that concept well, explain that thing well for them. that way you're being very professional and very, very, honest to them. Yeah, take it slowly. Do not rush. You need to give right pauses, right breaks wherever necessary. That really matters. Another thing which I actually kind of think is that no, you can't or you should not argue in a sales conversation. At times we get carried away. Always think about this, right? Your prospects are also challenging you in a way. They say that, no, hey, how are you able to give me this at this price? I'm getting half the price in the market. Again, prospects are all, you can't trust your prospects. They might lie as well, but you can't take that personally, right? Never argue, sir. Say that, no, how is that you're able to get it? There's no way that, no, you can get it, and so forth. So don't argue, be empathetic, understand where they're coming from. That's one of the good things to do, and you shouldn't argue with them. Stay calm, be a good listener. I think again this is a very good quality to have as a salesperson. Mostly we don't when things are not going our way as sales professionals, and when things are other way, we are not calm and we don't listen to the prospects. That's very wrong to do. Hear him out. And be patient, stay calm, and push your buttons at the right time. So that's very important. And last but not the least, again, do not carry any baggages. So I've seen sales folks' motivation levels can go up and down drastically if they have one bad call. If they lose one bad deal or one good deal, their motivation levels can drastically change, and they can take it personally, right? I've lost this deal, I should have won this deal. But you carry that baggage, and somewhere that resonates in your next conversation, and subconsciously you will end up making mistakes. So my advice to all of you is that, no, never carry any baggage of a conversation. Treat all conversations as new and go unbiased. Do not think that, no, this person is going to say no, this person is short closure. Don't have any biases in your mind, or don't have any baggage in your mind. So yeah, these are the few do's and don'ts which really helps a sales professional to kind of do well. Let's go next. Any questions so far? Cool. Let's move. What is that thing which improves your conversion? So I call it an omni-channel experience, or omni-channel communication experience to boost sales. One of the things as sales professionals you need to do is follow up, and follow up. Doesn't matter. You like it, you don't like it, you have to do it. The research says that, no, 80% of the sales requires 5 or more follow-ups. In fact, 50% of the sales happen after the 5th follow-up. That's a fantastic stats, right? Now ask a question yourself: how many of the salespeople in this call today do even have 5 follow-ups, right? We reach a couple of times, and then if you don't give a response, we give up. And that's what the stats, the next point says, right? 44% of the sales reps give up after the first follow, because they're not patient enough. They're like, I'll look at another deal. He's not responding, right? So that's a very wrong way to do. You need to really follow up well, and you have a follow-up mechanism. The other way to kind of boost your conversion is use traditional and non-traditional communication channels with your prospects. What I mean by here is that, no, typically a follow-up could be only through phone. I think somebody mentioned earlier as well that, no, I'm struggling to kind of engage my prospects and so forth, because you are using a uni-channel approach. You're not having an omni-channel approach. Omni-channel approach, the stats say that, no, omni-channel approach or follow-up approach increases conversions by about 28%. That's a staggering stats, right? First and foremost, we don't follow up. We need to start following up. Second, if you follow up and use omni-channel experience, you're likely to boost your conversions. In modern day sales, in today's day and age, it's very important to use traditional and non-traditional. Traditional is your phone and email. Non-traditional is your probably WhatsApp, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and so forth. So as sales rep, try this out and let me know. This really works. You got to attack prospects in various channels and adopt an omni-channel experience. Is one way is not going to work for you. You need to try and test out multiple ways. Again, it depends upon the industries you are working in. If you are in non-tech savvy or a non-internet first companies, probably traditional ways work. But if you're in tech, I think a lot of follow-up mechanisms can be adopted. So yeah, this is one hack, how you can boost sales and how you can convert more. And this is all about omni-channel follow-up experience. Moving forward, general tips, I think I'll not deep dive into this much. This is just for your observation. Make sure that you understand your prospect well, you research about the company, what they deal with, and so forth. Have a good product understanding. So if you are in a highly competitive space, it's very important to understand and go deeper into the product knowledge. Otherwise, you may not be able to carve out a best possible solution, or you may not be able to portray or deliver the best value prop, because you'll not know the product, right? You're unlikely to show the value proposition. So make sure that you have good understanding of the product and service you deal with. And again, evaluate your own strengths and weaknesses. It's very obvious that each and every of us will have different strengths and different weaknesses. You need to capitalize on your strengths. You need to work on your weaknesses. And we all have room for improvements. We all need to accept that. We're not all perfect. You would certainly lack few qualities. You will certainly be good in certain qualities. You need to, as a sales professionals, you need to evaluate that first. If you don't evaluate that, you would not know what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, and you will not be able to capitalize on your strengths. So assess your strengths and weaknesses, what you're good at, what you're not good at. The next thing what to do is reach out to your leaders and mentors and discuss the areas where you need help. I think this is where I'm urging that you need to have quality conversations with your managers, and say that hey, look, I am good at this, but I'm very weak in this. What is that I can do, and how is that I can improve? And you need to discuss those challenges and be open to kind of look at those challenges, right? If you're not open to discuss your challenges, and if you're not open to discuss your weaknesses, you're not going to progress. You're not going to make improvements. Remember, folks, you are competing against yourself. You're not competing against your peers. That's not the way to look at it. You need to assess, you need to kind of reach out for help with your leaders and managers and say that, hey, look, this is what it is. And last but not the least, stay focused, stay positive. Being in sales is not really easy. Monday mornings can be hard, but you always need to be positive. So one of the best ways, or how it has helped me to kind of bring consistencies, I don't think about the past. I might have had a great day on a Friday evening, but I don't carry that for the Monday morning, right? I go fresh. I don't have any bias. I don't have any baggages at all. Hey, I've won 5 deals last month. I'm going to do this today. And that is where you're going to fail. That is what will put you down, right? Never, ever be excited about your past. Never, ever be depressed about your past as well. So go with a plain slate and a fresh slate every day. Think about, this is your first day. This is your first day in sales. That will take you really high, and always stay positive and focused. That's my, tips for today. I'll share this with you all. And yeah, any questions? You can ask me any questions. You can ask me how, you can talk about my experiences or whatever. Any doubts you can throw.
Yes, I have. Okay, Jitendra, carry on.
It's not a question, it's a query with regard to the follow-ups. You said minimum 5 follow-ups.
Yeah.
So is there any calculated period, whether like after first call, like what would be the first follow-up and what is the second follow-up time gap? Is that so that we can understand, okay, usko 2 din de diya, 1 din de diya, then we can again approach it.
Absolutely. No, there is a time frame which you need to give, because when I mean 5 follow-ups, you can't call 5 times in 5 hours and say that, no, this is a lost deal, right? No, it is very important to give some time. In my experience, after the first call, I don't touch them, or I don't talk to them for about 3 days. 3 days is a very good period. It's not too long, it's not too short. After 3 days, I do a first follow-up, and then after 2 to 3 days, I do a second follow-up. And then I leave a long gap, because you've already touched 3 points, and then probably I leave for a week and then probably talk to them. So again, it depends upon industries you are working, Jitendra. I think if you're in a high velocity, high ticket size deals, the sales cycle could be lengthier as well. So when your sales cycle is lengthier, you give enough time because the decision-making process is very, very lengthier, right? If a deal is like 30 crores, 40 crores size, then obviously it's not going to happen in 5 days. You've got to kind of probably give a month time to kind of follow up as well. But what is important is you have to engage them. You need to keep talking to them, right? Not always that, no, hey, kab aa rahe ho aap mere deal karne ke liye? No, you could probably say that, no, hey, it's very difficult here in Bangalore. I mean, it's crazy out here. I mean, where I'm living, it's very rainy. I mean, is it rainy there as well? Are you facing difficulties? Maybe off topic, you need to keep them engaged and make sure that, no, they're responding to you well. And that's how you actually do it.
Understood. Thank you. Because I come from a different industry with a different set of sales, but I'm trying to move out to a different core sale. That's why these learnings would be definitely very helpful to me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I hope I answered you.
Thank you.
Hey, Nikil, Rohan here from Pune. Hi, Nikil, Rohan here.
Hey, Rohan.
Hi. Nikil, I'm a media professional. I work with Times Internet.
Nice.
Perfect. Nikil, I want to understand, being a sales head, how you do a long-term business, as in the partnership business, rather than just going for a one single business. I'm sure it must be a B2C business that you are into, right?
We are not into B2C, we are into B2B, but
B2B.
Go ahead with your question.
Yeah, but so want to understand how you do a large partnership deal with a corporate in that case, rather than just churning out for a single business or a cup. I want to understand from that perspective, from a top end perspective, from being a sales head.
Got it. No, I think your question is more about strategic partnership. So I qualify or I categorize partnerships into two, right? Or
Yes.
anything into two. One is tactical, one is strategic, right? Tactical are more of an instant gratification where you actually are looking for immediate results. Strategic are more of a long-term sustainable, right? So what you need to keep in mind is that, no, do not focus on the immediate wins or immediate immediate value props. Talk about, when you're talking about long-term sustainability or long-term partnership, right? Talk about how this partnership of yours and that particular prospect will help in 3 years' time. And talk about how the industry is going to evolve and how your company is going to evolve and how it will add value. So let's say today you would have 2 products, but the industry is changing and you would have 5 products in pipeline in next 6 months or 1 year. And that's how it's going to add value in the 3rd year. So you got to really, have conversations of not the present, but the future. Always talk about the future. Say that, no, this is only going to materialize, impact, and drive revenue or drive ROI probably after 1st year of our partnership. And how it is going to happen, because in 1 year from now, my company is going to grow from 0 to 5 and your company is going to go from 5 to 10 or whatever it is, and the market scenario is going to be different. You got to read the market scenario, you got to stimulate the market scenario, probably forecast the market scenario, and probably talk about it. That's how a meaningful strategic partnership will happen. Otherwise, when you are having strategic partnerships, right, if you don't talk about future, if you don't talk about and forecast future, right, so they're not going to probably get the meaningful sense of this partnership itself, and it's likely to kind of jeopardize your deal. So make sure you are very careful about how you speak.
Got your point, Nikil.
Yeah, hi, Anupam here.
Sorry, I lost.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, Nikil, I'm Anupam here. And
Hey, Anupam.
thank you so much. Thank you so much for your insights. And I really appreciate you taking time out and sharing all of this with us. Just one thing in terms of, now say you have a prospect and, this is particularly for a B2B deal, a CXO you're having your conversations with. Now on follow-up to, they explicitly say that, hey, you know what, Nikil, we're not interested at the moment. And, I'd appreciate we don't, touch base on this particular thing. How do you deal with that? And how do you make sure that, are you able to convert such deals, or do you just put them in the passive pipeline, or what do you do about that?
Absolutely. I mean, I think there is always something left with everyone, right? So
Yeah.
how I do, right? So when I really appreciate such people when they say that, no, hey, I'm not interested, I'm not looking at it right now, right? I really
Yeah.
appreciate it because as a salesperson, it really clears your mind that no, you don't need to put an effort with this person.
Correct.
But I think what we not do today is that, the moment the customer says it's not for me, I'm not interested. We just leave it as it is. But this is what I tried, and this really worked. When the moment the prospect says that, no, I'm not interested, I'm not looking at this, I go back to them and say that, no, hey, I really respect your decision and I really appreciate your response. But
yeah,
think, when do you think is this right for you? Could you give me a just
correct.
rough estimate about when would this be meaningful for you so that I can come back to you tomorrow? And trust me, when you do that, they say that, no, maybe in 1 year time or 6 months time or 3 months time, I can look at this. And you mark in your calendar and go back to them at that point in time and reinitiate the conversation. Hey, we discussed about this. You said that, no, in 6 months time, things might change for you and you might consider, I'm here after 6 months. Has things changed for you?
Nice. Yeah.
And trust me, you would win some.
Nice. That's a good one, Nikil. Thanks.
Hi, Nikil. Asif this side. Am I audible?
Yes, Asif, you are.
Great. How are you doing, Nikil? How's everything on your end?
I'm good. All well.
Thanks for all your insights. I really appreciate it. I just have something very specific for you. So basically, I received because this is about sales pitches. I thought like maybe you would be able to pitch in a little bit and give me a little bit of your insight, how you think about it. So I received a challenge from an industry leader a couple of days back, and it's because I'm somebody who's not from that particular industry, from the design UX UI industry. So he just proposed something to me like, I'll give you a challenge, and what do you think as a sales director? What would your take on this particular thing be, coming from somebody who's from a third person point of view, who's not a part of this industry, just to have a fresh perspective, as to say. So somebody is trying to, from a software engineer along with a product manager, is trying.
Asif, I'm losing you. Can you speak closer to your mic?
Is it clearer now?
Yeah.
Great. So coming from a person like, who is a software, so this is how the challenge goes. So he says that a person who is a software engineer along with the product manager wants to propose a unified platform experience, and the current suite of products is cloud, analytics, and data. Okay,
fantastic.
He wants to because a good looking product always appeals to the users, he wants to up the UI of that particular product. Now, as a sales director in a design company, what would be the sales strategy be to enable that company to execute the UX and create a winning product, for that particular brand, and build a long-term relationship with that particular company?
Understood. So if I can reiterate your question, so I think this is into cloud computing, and this is a design company, and your question is all about how do I think as a sales director for a design company? Is that correct?
Exactly.
Got it. So Asif, sorry, I forgot your name. What's your good name? Hello.
It's Asif, sir.
Asif.
Yeah, can you hear me? Asif, yes.
So Asif, I think first and foremost, you need to understand what your industry expert is asking from you. He's looking for a fresh perspective. And my suggestion would be that, think from a sales perspective how design could help. Okay. So if I was you, right, I would really think about who my customers are. What is the behavior or user journey of my customers? So all think about in sales, right? So let's say, let's think about a movie experience, right? If you're walking to a movie theater, you might have to kind of consider how the seat looks, how the environment is, what the sound quality is all about. And probably if you can use that as your USPs, you can probably increase sales, correct? Think about as a design or in a design company as a sales head, think about how you can create USPs using design. So for example, in my company, I'm thinking about how I can use my product as a USP to sell. So you should think about how design can play a part in sales. I'll give you a classic example of my experience, right? This is exactly what we did at Razorpay. Razorpay were very good in design, and they had fantastic UI, UX experience and reporting and dashboard and so forth. You don't believe, even my design team did not know about this, but we focused on design as a USP to increase sales. We said that, no, you are into financial, you are into reporting. Any financial product or any accounting product is very boring and very tedious, and you can get lost. Whereas with us, our design is super simple. And that really kind of stuck a lot of prospects, and they wanted to kind of use Razorpay for the design perspective, right? So in my view, you should do two things. One is think about how you can build design as a USP. Second thing, what kind of feedbacks can you give to your design team to make this as a USP is my approach. Otherwise, it will go into circles. So be clear in your mind that, no, you want to build design as a USP for your product. And for that, give right feedbacks to your design team and your engineering team to kind of build that. I hope I answered your question. Yes, if cool. Any other questions, folks?
Yes, I have.
So I'm sorry, Nikil, I lost you. I was on mute actually. I'm sorry. I was actually saying something. So so let's say I have to build a PPT on that note, which you just mentioned, like, focus on the designing aspect as a sales USP, right? So if I do that and I'm having to build a PPT on that, like, let's say that is my take on it. I want to build a presentation, and in the medium of slides, I'm trying to explain it to this particular individual that this is how my proposal will be for that particular company. So what would be your take on that? Like, what do you think we should start off with? Because I'm like putting it in the head like that. I'm not a person from the UX UI field. I'm not a person who is a techie or from that particular domain. So for a person from a fresh perspective, if it is coming as a, like, a PPT or a presentation, so what would be the major thing? So let's say I'm communicating directly with the person who's requiring these things, who is coming with a, like, proposal that these are the things required for data computing analytics. This is what my company is all about. I'm trying to up the UI game of this particular product. So what do you think the first approach should be on?
I think, as I said, right, so if UI and UX is your key strength, you got to map that and see how UI and UX is important for your customers and for your clients. And probably create a story around and say that, no, this is how UI UX is important. So I gave you a reference point as well with Razorpay. When I was dealing with Razorpay, I gave an anecdote of or a fact of none of the financial products in the market are so user friendly or so robust in terms of their design and user experience. And which is important, right? Because if you're dealing with finance, you need to know crystal clear. I mean, you need to kind of have your accounts and books to understand that crystal clear. So probably you need to stitch a story or probably relate that to how UI and UX is important for your clients. Otherwise, you're not going to kind of add value prop.
Great,
That's how I'm going to go and say that, no, UI and UX is very XYZ reasons.
May I add a point here?
Yep.
So before COVID, when we used to travel through here, there was no such mandatory requirement of doing web check-ins and all those things.
Okay.
But after COVID, the mandatory like web check-in became very, very much mandatory for all the airlines whenever you are traveling.
Yeah.
And I have been fortunate to travel all the airlines very, very frequently.
Yep.
And with regard to the discussion which is happening right now is about user experience.
Yep.
And when I go and do the web check-in for Indigo, and when I go and do the web check-in for many other airlines, Indigo has the simplest web check-in and the fastest web check-in. And if you go for SpiceJet, Vistara,
and because of this, sorry to cut you out, Jitendra, and because of this, I believe that, no, you would prefer to fly with Indigo.
Yes. So this is what I want to point it out. That's how we can present here.
Yep.
Just wanted to add this for making things more clear.
Thank you.
If I had a question right now here, I was just waiting for you to complete all these things.
No problems. Go ahead, please.
My name is Suraj Morris. Actually, I have joined with the mobile as well as the laptop. You can see me speaking on this, and my phone is connected to this.
Right. That's why I was thinking. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the thing is that right now I'm coming from an industry which is a little bit complex, and it's a different. So do you know about the timeshare industry?
What's sorry?
Timeshare industry. Basically, it is owning a property for a limited time.
Right.
For a 3 years per period, 5 years period, or 10 years period.
Right. I'm aware of this.
Yeah,
Yes.
basically a resort or any hotel vacation like this.
Right.
So right now, how a company is dealing, I've just recently joined here in the sales background, wherein by we are getting the telesales get into touch with the people who have just purchased a car.
Okay.
And what they do is offer a 3 years, 3 days free voucher for traveling for a holiday.
Okay.
Yeah, and say they'll tell them that please visit a venue where you will have to go through a 45 minutes presentation, and you will get your voucher for free.
Okay.
But the real deal then comes into wherein we have to pitch the customer for the getting the package sold to them. That is a 3-year package, 5-year package, and a 10-year package, which the customer is not ready for and is not knowing about. Okay.
Yep.
So the issue what comes is that when a customer comes into hoping a free gift voucher with his family, and then we go into pitch and we tell a product details to them, which are definitely very good.
Yep.
But the issue where we face is that we are offering them the services. Means if it is a 10 lakh service, no, we are offering it for just 1.5 lakhs or 2 lakhs.
Yep.
Right? But the customer is not willing to pay for the future travel right now.
Yep.
And in our case, there is no follow-ups, because if the customer is not getting close at that time, the customer is never going to get close in the next time.
Yep.
Because it is a one-time deal and he has to pay a bulk amount, which is 75,000 or 1.5 lakhs or 3 lakhs.
Yep.
Definitely he's going to get services abroad as well as in India. But the thing is that getting the prospect converted into that becomes a little bit hasty.
Yep.
Because the customer is not from the particular need that they are looking for.
No.
We have to create that need for them.
Yep. Get this. Yeah. What is your question? I mean, what is your problem and what is your question?
So how do you tackle a customer? Means see, when the customer is unaware, okay, and you need to sell him a thing, and you need to create a demand for him, and also the product is a bit costly.
Yeah.
So how can we work into that?
So Suraj, I think if I can understand the whole sales process, right? There's a surprise element to your prospect or a customer.
Right.
When there is a surprise element, what happens is the customer is not prepared to buy because they are emotionally, mentally, they're not prepared to buy. And hence, it's very obvious to have challenges to kind of battle this out. The other way to do that is, I don't know if your company allows, I don't know what your format is. I think you need to relook at the sales process itself, right? These are one of the traditional ways of sales, what we used to do probably 10 years back or 5 years back, but now things have moved on. The sales, how you do in modern day and age is very, very transparent and very, very open, right? So maybe you can try this, right? Maybe don't have that surprise element to your customer. Prep them up before they come into that presentation or wherever they are getting released that, no, this is what it is. Ask them to be prepared or brief them about. You don't need to kind of give them entire, you don't need to reveal the entire secret. Probably open a secret that there's a caveat, right? There's a terms and conditions that are attached to this voucher or whatever it is. Maybe 50% of the people drop off. That means they are not going to anyway purchase it at the venue itself, and so forth. So you're going to filter out certain unwanted leads to yourself, and probably even after you reveal who probably attend the event may have better chances because they are still looking for something, right? And maybe here you will have better chances of conversion, and probably you'll be able to convert your prospects better, because surprise element doesn't work, Suraj, in today's day and age, because you're not mentally prepared to kind of invest that. So this is what you can do. Probably reveal.
I'll tell you what the thing is. The customer comes with a greed that he's getting this free voucher where he's going to go for a three night stay. We do offer that, okay, and we are actually offering it at a heavy 90% discount. Yeah. But just the thing is that the customer needs to book it there. The fear of missing out. Okay,
it's the other way, right? I mean, it's false commitment, right? I mean, you've deceived them already. So Yeah.
So yeah. So the
Unfortunate.
thing is that we are giving the abroad stays and everything, which will cost them lakhs of rupees. We give them just at 70,000. We arrange all the things. Just the thing is that we need to get converted them, and this is the whole sales process that my company goes through. So that is one of the challenge I face, that the customer is not ready and aware of. And when it comes into that, if you want this 4-day package, which will also cost you 50,000 rupees, and if you want to get it for free, you will have to purchase this thing.
Yeah, no, I get it. So as I said, I mean, try this out. I don't know if your company allows this to do or not, but reveal a bit of it before they come in. Remove the surprise element and see what happens. I'm sure that would
be fine. Great. Thank you for your time, Nikhil. It was a good,
Nikhil,
good insight that you gave us.
Sure. Hey, somebody else want to?
Yeah, Nikhil, Rohan here. I need to push off. Thanks for your time. Really appreciate. We'll surely sync up with you on a LinkedIn.
Absolutely.
And thank you. And have a great, happy Independence Day to everyone out here.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Madhu. Bye-bye.
Yeah, Nikhil, I have some questions. First of all, thanks a lot for your precious time. So for the insights which you gave to us. Like, I'm totally in a budding stage of my career, so it's really helped me. My question is that in a call, like when you are doing a cold call or something, then you have to qualify a band qualification.
Yeah.
So for the same thing, how would we do that? Because this is very kind of impossible things when we do a cold call or something. So for qualification of a band qualification is kind of a very hard thing, that we need to know each and everything, like budget, need, time, and date for the customer. So it is kind of a very challenging task for us.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, Mohit. Your question could be that, no, if you do complete band, you are probably not qualifying anything, right? Because it's not going to happen. I mean, the moment.
No. My question is, like when we do the initial call, first or second call, or first or second follow-ups with the clients, so they are not very much with the highlighted things. Like they are not very much proficient with give the each and every information, that what is the budget, who is the authority person, what is the need of that customer, and what time they will finish it off. So for gathering that information with the customers, what will be the strategy?
Very good question. I think we have done this in the past as well, and I'll share you how we have done this, right? So see, band by definition and by methodology is very good, but I think don't literally translate that in your calls. My suggestion. I think if you try to literally translate that in the calls, then anybody would think that, no, who are you? Why do I need to share this information, right?
Agree.
The way to do that is indirectly, in an indirect speech, you need to look at it, right? So probably one of the criteria is that, no, to figure out whether this person is the right person or a decision maker, right? Probably you can have an icebreaker session. You can make an initial connect and say that, no, hey, I'm calling from XYZ company. May I know what you do in your company? So they say that, no, hey, I'm one of the directors, or I'm one of those. Oh, okay, fine. So then you are in charge of looking at these things. Then he will say, no, I'm not in charge of, I don't take care of these things. Then you know that, no, he's not the decision maker. Right? If he says, yes, I take care of, travel for my business. And if you're into travel, then you know that, no, you're talking to the right person. You can't directly ask that, no, do you take decisions of travel for your company? Then he might really not answer that question to you, right? So my pro tip for you is, whatever the band qualification criteria are, go indirectly, right? How do you ask if there is a budget for this, right? You can't go and ask that, no, I hope you and your organization have kept aside a certain budget for this. That's not the way how to ask. So probably, I hope your company is looking to invest in softwares to improve and to scale further. I'm sure that, in the next 12 months you are looking at a lot of growth. If your company, then you will say that, we are looking at to grow at 3x, right? That's a sign that, no, this company is into growth. And if they're growing at 3x, 5x, then investing in a small software which you're selling might not be a problem for them in budget, because growth needs budget, right? So probably then the criteria is probably they may have a budget. How do you prioritize for your product is what you need to work on. I think go indirect way of asking things and qualify them. Not translate that.
Okay. And while having a conversation with a client, so our USP is more important or their need is more important, like, or both?
I think you need to understand their need first and then use your USPs for their need.
According to their need.
Yes. If you don't address the need properly, then it's not going to work because you're going to be inefficient. You're going to throw out or you're going to use your USPs where it is not needed. First and foremost, golden principle, understand their need first and then bank on your USPs.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, because it's like that you mug up the things and just vomit it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't make an impact.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Nikil, for your support as well as for your session. This is really helpful for us.
Likewise.
And thanks a lot for everyone.
Glad.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Cool. If no questions, then can we wrap it up?
Nikil, hi. Anurag here from Chopper.
Hey, Anurag.
How are you doing?
Hey, I'm good. I'm good, thanks. How are you doing, Anurag?
I'm good, thank you. So, Nikil, my question is, first and foremost, like, thank you for this workshop and really appreciate your imparting the knowledge for sales pitch to us. I'll be shifting from my hometown to new location in Mumbai to a new company and that to a role where I'll be working in a fintech.
Okay.
So I'll be having a job role of getting new clients in Mumbai location, right?
Okay.
It will be a new area for me. So as a newcomer to the area, not in the industry, to the area, how should I work upon knowledge of the area to understand the client
Anurag, I'm thinking that there's a lot of disturbance.
Hello.
Hey, yeah. Yes and no. Yeah, go ahead.
So I know, like, I'll be coming to a new city now, so I need to have a research on it, the market share, the industrial areas and all. And as you mentioned that we need to have a future aspect on how the industry will be evolving 1 to 3 years, and that we can use in a sales pitch. How to research about that things?
No, I think in today's day and age, research is not a concern at all, right? Because there's plenty of information available to you through the internet. So I think you got to spend time, look at researching, look at searching certain things which are relevant for you, and probably curating knowledge which is making more sense to you. The other tip which I would have is probably if you're moving to a new location, get to know what people are there, how do people work, what are the pros and cons of living there or working over there, and so forth. Make good friends, and one of the most important things is that go with a clean slate. Do not have any bias. Be open for learning. You are likely to kind of be under pressure and be under uncomfortable situations. During that time, what is very important is to stay positive, because everything looks new to you, everything looks Greek and Latin, and you might lose confidence of what you've done in the past as well. So you would you would not believe yourself, because that is what the environment would do, right? Because new people, new job, new environment, new industry, nothing is relevant to what you've done in the past. This is likely to put you under stress. And this is likely to kind of raise questions and raise belief in yourself. My advice to you is don't lose belief in yourself. You are there because there is something in you and you can do it. Have that faith in you, and be open for learning. You should relearn, learn, and unlearn. These are the things which I would really advise you, and that will probably take you further. I hope that answered the question. Any other questions, folks?
Yeah, Nikil.
Go ahead.
First of all, thanks for your time. It's been.
I lost whoever was speaking. I lost them. Sorry.
Really great learning from you. Hello.
Hey, is it Banu? Hey, Banu.
Nikil, am I there? Yeah. Actually, Nikil, we are in home automation business, and what we have to do is we have to approach interior designers and architects first. So right at that moment of time, we are not making any sales to them. We are just making them aware about our products and services.
Sure.
So what happens with us is that at that time they listen to us, but after some time they just forget us. So what we should do? I just want your insight on that.
Great. I love home automations these days. Again, the thing which you should do, or which you might not be doing properly, is that no, you're not adding value proposition to your product. Think about who are these designers and architects. These are creative people, correct? What are they to their customers? They are delivering a service to their customers, right? Now you need to focus on how your home automation product can add value to their service to their customers, right? If you can show value, saying that no sir, aapne design banaya, it's a fantastic design. For this, if you have my product, it can actually add more value, right? So I think you need to emphasize and make them understand that your product will add value to their service. You are able to charge 100 rupees to your client today. With my product, you will be able to charge 200 rupees. If you can install that, or if you can communicate that to them, then they're likely to come back to you, because they also are in, they also want to make more money, right? So probably if they're making 200 rupees, they'll be happy to kind of give you that 50 rupees as well.
Yeah. Just one more question. We have tried this also, but the actual challenge which we face actually is that they just, sort of lost, like they are doing 3 projects at that time. One thing is that they are busy all the time. They are very busy people, so they don't have time. At the same time, at that time, they don't require. Maybe in their next project and after 2 projects, after 3 projects, they do require our services. So to make that connect, to connect them properly, or to make that a consistent connect with them, what should we do?
See,
because we don't have any direct follow-up with them or something like that.
No, I understand. So Banu, I think here it's a classic case of being open for learning, right? So you are only, I don't know if you're only doing this particular channel, and if this particular channel is actually becoming a challenge or a hindrance for you to kind of move forward, experiment other channels. Maybe you should look at who are their customers, for example, and probably directly market it to their customers and say that no, this is what I can do, and probably they in turn can make an inquiry to you, or they in turn can push to the creative people or architects or designers, and then they can get it. I'll give you an example, right? At Razorpay, we did this, right? So Razorpay is a B2B product, correct? It's never a B2C product. I made a case and said that no, we might have to kind of do B2C as well. The reason is, if I promote it to B2C people, if I can create trust, and if I can promote it to B2C, we are likely to kind of, the customers are likely to kind of ask if Razorpay is available for making a payment, right? So indirectly, I'm selling my product. So you need to find avenues to kind of stitch your product. Always think about, if you're a B2B, think about, is there a channel to kind of promote to B2C, and then come back to your business. So I'll give you another example, right? How many of you have seen Visa ad? MS Dhoni actually promotes Visa, swiping machines and so forth. Visa is not a B2C product at all. It's a B2B product, right? But they hired, or I mean, MS Dhoni became a brand ambassador, and they promoted Visa in TV and television ads, right? That is to kind of make sure that no customers want Visa. Tomorrow, who are Visa's customers? End customers who are using credit card or debit cards are customers, right? Whereas Visa will only ride on businesses. Their direct customers are businesses. So let's say if customers started asking that, no, hey, do you accept Visa? Then the brand or the business is likely to kind of have Visa on the platform. So that's how it works.
Yeah, actually, we are going with other channels also. That's how we are getting our business, because with interiors, we have just limited business. So just my actual question was just this, that is there any way how we can make a bond or a connect with them, even we are not doing directly business with them, if any prospect?
No, absolutely, absolutely, right. So again, see, without a value proposition, nobody's going to entertain you. You need to create a fear, and you need to create and show that ROI of what is there in store for them if they have to tie up with you, right? Otherwise, my friend, it will be a struggle.
Can I add a few points here, because I have worked with this industry for almost a year.
Sure, Jitendra, absolutely. Go ahead.
See, for interior designer or architects, they will do different projects of different budget category. Okay. And these people will have a specification in their own hands. They will specify the material which needs to be installed, be it product or any kind of a brand. They will specify, they will purchase, they will install. So project wise, we should understand what are the project that they are having, what is the budget of the project, and what are the materials of the similar project that they have already used in earlier projects. And accordingly, we have to take out those brand details, understand the qualities and like strength and weakness of those brand. And for whenever we are projecting to any of the like interior designer or architects, then we can simply say that, sir, in your earlier project, these were the material that you have already used. And that is how that the similar kind of a project, you can also use our material, whereas these are the benefits that we can provide you, maybe at a very economical rate also, if you can afford that.
Well, folks, I hope you all got to take something today. I hope it was a very interactive session.
Great,
thanks
Nikhil. I think it was really insightful, and everybody had so many questions, because being a salesperson, what is most important is that how do you start your calls, and hence so many questions. And really grateful to you, Nikhil, that you could squeeze out time for us on a Saturday, on a weekend, and you could answer all the questions that everybody had in the forum.
My
okay,
pleasure.
guys, thank you so much for being part of the learning series today. Hope so that we catch up next Saturday, 12 to 1. Until then, take care, and wishing all of you a happy Independence Day.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Kunal.
Thank you.
Yeah.